Hello, and welcome to the Imagination Stations Part 2 of our Google Calendar training. Today we're going to talk about how to share our calendar. Before we begin, I'm going to go over to the side over here, and I'm only going to use my Imagination Station calendar. So I'm going to turn off my normal calendar. All those other events have disappeared. For today, I'm going to go into my Shopping Friday. I'm going to use December 2nd. And remember, we can't just change things from this task screen. We're going to have to go into Edit Event. Once we're in the screen, most of the things on this screen will look familiar. You have the title, the date, the time. We made it be a repeating. We didn't give a location because we never shop in the same place. This is the calendar that it's on. If I do this drop-down menu, you'll see that I have more than one calendar. I can give a description, and I've given it a color here. So over here on this side is what I did not cover in the first part. Add guests. This is how you can specifically share events. Not your whole calendar, but just specific events. So let's say I want someone to come with me shopping. So all I'm going to do is type in their name. I'd like for Jenna to go shopping with me. And it adds her. All I have to do is push save, and this pops up. Do I want to invite her to only this event or all of the events? And I've changed my mind and I don't want to invite Jenna. So I'm going to push cancel at this time. And you'll watch nothing changes on this screen. It just didn't move me on to the next screen. Now I want to add someone and not just use Jenna. I want to invite Rosa as well. If you'll look over here, Jenna has an asterisk at the end of her name. Rosa does not. That asterisk is there to show that that person has not shared their calendar with you. This is where this is useful. Over here, next to your event details that we've already covered, is a Find a Time. This is where you can see when your guests are available. You'd hate to invite someone to go shopping when they absolutely can't join you. This is the place where you could see if they're available. However, you'll notice Jenna's calendar does not show up because she has not shared her calendar with me. My own calendar is on one side, and Rosa is on the other side. So I look down here and I see that from 7 to 11, Rosa is busy. So I'm going to have to schedule our shopping time after 11 o'clock. That way for sure she'll be able to be there. Since I am not sure whether or not Jenna will be joining us, I'm going to uninvite her, so to speak. I'm going to go over here to my guest list. That's what this box right here is. And over here, there's an X. And you'll see a little note pops up for you. Remove this guest from the event. All you have to do is click on that X. No other notes, just click on the X and it removes them from the event. All right, knowing that Jenna is only available after 11 o'clock, I'm going to go up here to my all day and unclick it. And I can't start it at 10 because she's not available. So I'm going to start it at 12. Give her enough time to get home, just in case. From 12 to 1. And you'll see this box shows up. This lets you know that on your side you're free and on her side you're free. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. I'm ready to save. Now, this says, would you like to change only this event, all the events, or only the events following this event? And really, we're just going to go shopping specifically this day, the two of us. So I'm going to click only this event. Would you like to send invitations? This is a wonderful idea. What this does is it lets anybody's email address that you added as a guest, it sends them an invitation. And they can respond yes or no to that invitation. And I'm about to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and push send. Your event was updated. Now remember, you can always click undo, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, now, I just told you that I was going to show you what it looked like when you receive an invitation. So I'm going to open back up my calendar over here because I received an invitation. Down here on December 1st, I received an invitation to open house. This little arrow right here indicates that I have not responded to that invitation. So I'm going to click on it and let's see what happens. A task menu comes up. Now, from this task menu, I can respond to it and I can also view the details of that event. Let's go back to adding our events before I respond to that. Now remember, I took Rosa off, so I'm going to put her back on. Now, down here at the bottom, you've got 3 different options where you can check for your events. Your guest can modify your events. This event, which means that they can completely change it. They could even delete it. They can do everything that you can do with this event if you click that button. I don't suggest that because you don't want to give your guest power over your event because it is your event. However, if it's just a simple party or if it's a save the date, you can let your guest invite other people, and that's what this one right here is for, invite others. This last one is see guest lists. If I uncheck this, Rosa will not be able to see anybody else that is going to attend this event. This can be useful if you are planning a surprise for a couple of different people and you don't want them to know who's coming. You want them to think that it's just you. Or if it's a meeting and it's none of their business who's coming, that's a really good option right there for them to see the guest list or not see the guest list. So, I'm actually going to also uncheck invite others because I want this to be completely my event. I don't want anybody else to have any kind of power over my event. So I'm going to go ahead and click save and only this event. And I do want to send her an invitation. Alright, now back to the open house. I wanted to show you what it looks like when you can't see your guest details. So I'm going to go to more details, and if you'll see, it looks almost exactly as it did when you first created it. Over here on the side where the guests are, the full guest list has been hidden at the organizer's request. When I created this event, I made it so that I could not see who the guest list was. This is what it looks like when you do that. I, however, did give myself permission to add guests. So I can type in any email address and I can add them on and send them an invitation. Now up here at the top, I can say yes, no, and maybe. And if yes, I can say yes, and I'm bringing 3 people. And I can say, I am excited about open house. And all I have to do is click save. And if you'll look, the arrow is gone from there because I have responded. Alright, now that we've learned how you can share specific events, you should also learn how you can share whole calendars with people. So let's go over here to our Imagination Station calendar. Now, we're going to click on this drop-down menu, and since we are looking at sharing calendars in this lesson, we're going to go to Share This Calendar. Now, if you remember from the last lesson, I went ahead and I made this calendar public. That is a way that you share this calendar. When you share your calendar publicly, anybody can type in your email address and they can find your calendar. Which is why I suggest, if you're going to make it public, that you make it so that they can only see your free and busy time. They can't see any of the details. because in your details is maybe an address of where you're going to meet, and that's a little more information than you'd want to give to the average Joe. So I'm going to uncheck that now. I will recheck it later, that way anybody that wants to see this calendar at a later date can. Share with specific people is what I want to teach you about. All I have to do down here to share with a specific person is add a person. You'll notice that I already did. I added myself, and I said that I could make changes and manage sharing. That means I can do everything that you can with that calendar. Again, just like with your events, I don't suggest doing that unless you really want them to have full access to your calendar. So I'm going to type in my husband, and he pops up right there. Now, here's your options. Click on this menu right here. Here's the make changes and manage sharing that I used for myself. You can also just do make changes. You can let whoever you give this, like your secretary. You want your secretary to be able to make changes to your events. That way they can change anything that needs to be changed. This would be a good setting for them. See all event details. This is going to be a perfect setting for my husband because I want him to be able to see everything that I'm doing on my calendar to help us stay a little bit more connected. Or if it's someone that, you just want them to be able to see when you're free or busy so that they can make plans with you, you would check see only free busy times. And that's the same thing as when you make your calendar public and you make it so they can only see the free and busy times. Except it's with specific people. So I can add in another person. Let's add Rosa that we used earlier. And see, I'm going to make her be able to see all my event details. All we have to do is say save, and our calendar has been shared, our whole calendar, not just the events. You'll notice at the top, you don't have the option to undo. If you don't like how you shared it, you need to go back down into the drop menu, do share this calendar, and change it from there. If you decide once you get there that you really don't want to share it with some of the people that you shared it with, there's a trash can over here, and it is remove. All you have to do is click on that trash can. No notes pop up, so you've got to be careful and make sure you're really clicking on who you want to click on. And voila, no more sharing. Again, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and make this public so that anybody that wants to see this calendar can. I'll go ahead and push save to make it complete. And again, my changes have been saved, but I don't have the option to undo. Congratulations, you are now ready to make your own calendar, make new events, share those events with specific people, and share your whole calendar with anybody that you need to. I hope you enjoy using Google Calendar.